is Daisy Finch, and today we are going to be learning the foundation of a guitar. How to hold the guitar, the notes on the strings, and how to play a fret. These are the 3 things you should learn by the end of this video, and it's pretty short and simple, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing, how to hold the guitar. If you haven't noticed, I'm holding it the way that I traditionally hold it. This is just the simple way that I say how to hold it, because there's a lot of different ways that you can hold it, but this is the traditional way. On the guitar, you notice that there's 2 little spots. You have these 2 dips. I don't know the actual name, but you have these 2 dips right here. You're going to want to lean your guitar towards the left side of your body, unless you're playing a left-handed guitar. If you're playing a left-handed guitar, then you want your guitar to lean to the right. But as for me, I play my guitar right-handed, so you want to lean it to the left. The next thing, your arm. Your arm rests on this little dip right here. I usually go a little bit higher, but you want your hand to line up with that dip, just like that. You want to have enough space so that you can pick. You can pick just like that, or play a chord like that. You want to make sure that there is enough room so that you can actually move your fingers around. I will say a few things. I am pretty much self-taught. I learned how to play guitar in 2017, and I was a very rough player. And I used to be in a praise team, and I learned how to play guitar from a couple of people there. So I have a little bit of learning skills from everywhere. I also took 2 guitar classes in college, so I learned a little bit more on how to play and sing at the same time. So for this video, like I said, how to hold the guitar, the strings, and how to play a note. So now you know how to hold a guitar, for the right hand that is. For the left hand, you are going to want to grab from under, and put your fingers just like that. Show you from the side. My thumb is resting on the back of the neck, and my other fingers on the front of the neck, just like that. Now, this is usually how you see people hold a guitar. Again, if you are a left-handed guitar player, it is the opposite. You want to have your left hand resting on that dip, like this, and then you want your right hand to go under the neck, and your fingers will be on the front, and your thumb will be on the back, just like that. The next thing is how to play a note. Sorry, this is distracting me. How to play a note on the guitar. You know how to hold it. The next thing is the strings themselves. So if you don't know anything about music theory and you don't know anything about notes at all, that's okay. But it is important to know which strings are what. This one is an interesting part. Some people say that the first string is at the bottom, the highest note. Some people say the first string is the lowest note. It really doesn't matter which one is correct. It just matters that you know what the other person is talking about. If they say put your finger on the first string, you're going to want to know which string that is. So for me, I say the first string is the bottom note, the lowest one. Just like that. The guitar strings in order from lowest to highest: E, A, D, G, B, and E again. Beautiful, right? You're doing something right because you know which strings are which. When it comes to playing chords, we'll get into that later, but when it comes to playing chords and you move your fingers on these frets, which is these little parts right here between the bars, this is a fret. Once you learn how to play the chords, you'll understand that when you place your fingers on the frets, you're actually changing the note of the string itself. For example, this is the E string, right? The 6th string. If I place my finger on the 1st fret, it turns into an F. just like that. If I move it even more, this is an F sharp or a G flat, and I move it up one more, it's a G. Pretty crazy stuff. That's why people place their fingers on the strings, because they're trying to change the note of the string so that they come together as a beautiful harmony. That's why chords are made, and that's why they're all structured in the way that they are, so that you can actually play strings in a very nice harmony. Like this is the C chord. This is probably the first chord that you'll ever learn how to play. When it comes to how to play one singular note, this is how you do it. I'm going to hold it like this so you can kind of see. When it comes to playing with the left and the right hand, you want to have some curve action. So, when I'm playing a fret, I place my fingers like this. You see how there's a little bit of space right here? That is so that your strings don't buzz or mute. You don't want it to sound like that. You want it to sound crisp and clear. Like that. You see how I did a little wiggle? Yeah, that's how they do that, is they wiggle their finger very aggressively. But yes, you want to leave a bit of curvature so that you have some room to play. This is the same with the right hand. You want to have a bit of curvature because you want to be able to play the strings. We're going to put this together now. Holding the guitar for right-handers, you want it facing the left side. You want this little dipping part on your right leg. Your hand should be in line with this dip. You want it curved on the string. With the left hand, you want to move it to wherever you're going to play your fret. I would say start with the highest string. Place your finger in between these two bars, not on the bar, but in between the two. Press down. Not as hard as you can, because that will make you sore, especially if you're playing for the first time. You want to feel the pressure. You want to press down until you can hear a note. Like that. You'll know that this is the amount of pressure you want to put down on your left finger until you can hear a note. You don't want to press down so hard that you leave a dent on your finger. Like this. You don't want to do that. I've been playing for quite some time. That's why I have some lines on my fingers. But if that is leaving your fingers in a super amount of sore pain or it starts bleeding, you're definitely pressing a little bit too hard. So don't press so hard that you're actually hurting yourself. I will say that if you play for 30 minutes to an hour for the first time, you are going to have some sore fingers or you're going to have some redness. That is normal. Don't go to the ER. It's totally normal when it comes to playing the guitar, especially if you have steel strings like me. So we're going to do it again. Make sure that your guitar is resting on your right leg. Your hand is aligned with the dip. Don't go like this, and don't play this way. Put your fingers diagonal, just like this. With your left hand, you want to press down on the fret. Bring your thumb to the highest note, because that's what I'm playing, and just pluck. So that's how you want to play the string. You want to have the correct amount of pressure that places down on the string in between the two bars. You want to have your finger pressed down to whatever amount of pressure you want to place. Once you hear the note being played, that is how you know that you're pressing the correct amount. So if you want to play and challenge yourself, try to use your first finger, your pointer finger, and your ring finger, and just place them on two different frets like this. Whatever finger is closer towards the right hand is going to be the note that is played. Just like that. The ring finger is closer to my right hand, therefore the note on my ring finger is going to play. Once you remove your ring finger, the pointer finger will play. You want to experiment with using all four of your fingers if you possibly can. It is hard to work the pinky, but it is possible, I'll tell you that much. I don't really use my pinky finger that much. but if you really want to challenge yourself, try to use all 4. So, you've learned how to hold the guitar correctly, how to place both hands on the guitar, how to play a note, and the amount of strings. Our next video is going to be talking about how to play a chord and how to strum, and probably some more. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for lesson 2.